From a Celtics perspective, would you be more concerned facing Toronto or would you be more concerned facing Miami? Because the thing with Toronto is over a 7-game series, I think that you guys have so much length to be disruptive on the defensive end. I think Achua can give you a lot of upside on the boards, and then that transition game plays directly into where Boston's weaknesses lie defensively themselves, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Miami, it's very much a, hey, we're just going to bruise you until you either crumble or win, and then you're going to be hurt for the next round. So I'm just curious, if you was on our side, like looking in, where would your kind of fear be?
I'm going to be honest with you. If in an ideal world, I think it would be the Raptors, but the Raptors have been less than ideal this season. If this was last year's Raptors team, I would say, yeah, I think you'd be looking at a tough out, but no, it's very clearly Miami, and Miami has played some good games against y'all this season. I had the chance to watch a couple of them. Jimmy Butler had some really, really good games against y'all too. I think so, right? If I'm misremembering.
No, unfortunately, you're right. I'm already exhausted thinking about a Celtics Miami series. I'm just so over those series.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be a grind, man. I think it's one of those series where you look at it and you're like, okay, so Philly is going to end up playing Brooklyn. That's probably going to be a 4 or 5 game series. But Boston on the other side might have to play a 6-game series or a 7-game series, even depending on how good Miami's supporting cast is and the shooting and whatnot. But I don't know, man. I think it's like no question I would rather play Toronto than Miami this season. And while there are some things I agree with you that the Raptors can throw out on the Celtics to make it a little bit harder on them, I just think that shooting variance, the difference between the Celtics getting hot and hitting 23s, 33, you know what I mean? 23s in a night versus the Raptors going, I think they went 3 of 20 between Fred and OG last night. You're not going to be winning that many basketball games like that. So
yeah, that just ain't going to get it done. I think you're right. And I think a little bit of it is just the Jimmy Butler factor, right? It's the respect of Jimmy. And I think he kind of is the trump card in all of this when you look at the two teams. Because I actually think that, the Heat and Raptors have a little bit of similarities in the fact that they both like to go long. We talked about that versatility that sometimes isn't always versatility, right?
Yeah.
The Heat have a little bit of that too, and they've been living on the margins, just like you talked about the back end development of the Raptors. My first thought was, oh, that's kind of the Heat plan, which is they're running on fumes right now with having the Martins of the world, the Struces. They found Duncan Robinson, they got Gabe Vincent, all guys that turned into more than you expected. But still, when you mess with Boston, you mess with the Bucks, you mess with the Sixers, at the end of the day, that's only going to take you so far.